organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Finals are in full swing, but what problems are students dealing with the most? Coming up.
And later we will be taking an inside look into one of the most difficult jobs in Iowa City.
And find out if the Iowa baseball team was able to pull off the sweep over the Gophers.
Later on in sports.
All of this and more is coming your way.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Horhan.
And I'm Abigail Meyer. Our top story tonight, the east side of campus has experienced a large inconvenience, especially during finals week. The university's Wi-Fi has been unresponsive since noon, according to ITS. This caused a lot of uproar for students.
It's really irritating because I can't study in my own apartment. I don't get stuff done. There's too many distractions. So when I come to campus, I expect there to be Wi-Fi to be able to get my stuff done, and I can't. So I'm just kind of stuck here.
I've been using my phone's hotspot to do it, which is, I have to pay for it, but it's working so far.
With all of the backlash ITS has been experiencing, many are wondering what it takes to work as one of their staffers. We sent Blake Jorgensen out to find the answer.
The Information Technology Services Help Desk on the second floor of the Old Capitol Mall helps students with things like connecting to internet, logging into email and Icon, and downloading software.
So you name it, we'll help it as long as it's technology related.
Well, maybe not everything. The Help Desk doesn't assist with any hardware issues, like a broken plug or cracked screen, but they do know where to go.
Then we can do diagnostics and determine if there's a hardware problem, and then we have a list of the local vendors that they can go to get assistance with hardware.
When looking at applicants to work the Help Desk, technological skill surprisingly isn't the most sought after trait.
And the biggest skill that we're looking for is customer service. And if they have the skills that we need, then we will train them on how to use all of our tools and then how to deal with all those questions that people come in and ask about.
That training process takes 3 to 4 weeks and covers a wide array of skills.
How to reset a Hawk ID, how to interact with people for the phone and in person, learning our different policies and procedures, a lot of our software, that sort of thing. So there's a huge range of stuff that we cover.
So if you're having trouble with your internet or you need a password or something, you know where to go. But if you have a hardware issue, you might want to try somewhere else, though they can point you in the right direction. But students helping students is always a good thing. I'm Blake Jorgensen for Daily Iowan TV.
George Zimmerman, the man who was acquitted in the murder trial of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, was shot at earlier today. This incident was described as an act of road rage. Authorities on scene stated Zimmerman sustained a minor injury during the shooting. The side window shattered, causing glass to cut his face. Zimmerman has been involved in several violent incidents since the 2013 ruling. There are now no new details at the moment, but stay with Daily Iowan TV to learn the latest as the story develops.
We told you yesterday about the tornadoes touching down in multiple areas around the nation. A recent update has come in stating that some have become deadly. Over 70 tornadoes were reported of touching down in the Midwest and have resulted in 5 people dead, dozens injured, and 8 missing. Buildings also were affected, some were destroyed, and others severely damaged. We will keep you up to date as more information comes in.
And Megan, we're very grateful here in Iowa City to not have any severe weather.
Hopefully we can keep those tornadoes away, but Beth, do we have any severe weather coming our way?
Well guys, no tornadoes, but we do have some storms in our forecast. Thankfully, Iowa City didn't receive any of that damage. Finals week is upon us, and unfortunately the weather outside will be fairly nice this week as most of us are stuck inside studying. Hopefully everyone takes a study break to enjoy the mostly clear skies and warming temperatures this week. Tomorrow morning, temperatures start off in the chillier side with temperatures in the high 40s that quickly reach the 50s. Into the afternoon, temperatures continue to rise, eventually reaching the 60s. Into the evening, temperatures remain warm in the 60s and eventually reach the 50s again later on in the evening. And for the rest of this week's forecast, us students are missing some high temperatures due to finals. Unfortunately, Wednesday we see sunny skies and temperatures in the 70s. On Thursday, we see rain showers return with temperatures in the mid-60s. We see a break from rain on Friday with temperatures reaching the high 70s and thunderstorms returning for the rest of the week. And that's all I have for you guys in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Beth. And with all of the nice weather we've been having, it is no wonder why Iowa City is moving on for Best Town in America. For Outside Magazine's competition, Iowa City beat out Kansas City in the first round with 55% of the vote. Next, Iowa City will be competing against Beret, Kentucky. If you would like to vote, go to Outside Magazine's website and search for Best Town in America.
It's time for finals, and many students are giving up time for sleep for time to study. Kramer Anderson took a look at what the risks are of not getting enough sleep.
It's the last week of the semester here at the University of Iowa, and there's only one thing on most students' minds: finals. For most students, finals week means a lot more studying and a lot less sleeping.
I was here till like 3:30 last night, so starting up again today, so.
To combat sleep, many students use caffeine and other supplements to stay up late.
I try to get as much sleep as possible, but putting in a lot of energy bars and energy drinks, that it's difficult to go to sleep once you're into the groove, you know?
But are students actually benefiting from studying for hour on end late into the night? While some students think yes, the science behind it says otherwise. I paid a visit to the Sleep Disorders Clinic at the university's hospitals and clinics to learn more about sleep loss among college students.
If you've learned an awful lot during a single day, it is suggested that when you try to sleep that following night, if you don't get good levels of REM, rapid eye movement, dreaming sleeping, you may not consolidate those memories that you spent all those hours trying to learn, and as such, taking the test, it may be as though you never even studied at all.
Studies recommend young adults get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. So when you're studying later tonight, you might want to close your books and get some sleep early, because it might help you on your next final. Reporting from Iowa City, Kramer Anderson, Daily Iowan TV.
The University of Iowa has several events designed to help students de-stress from their exams. The events kicked off this morning with a tradition, pancakes. Hundreds of students lined up in the IMU's main lounge to get served breakfast by the Pancake Man himself. The Flippin' Into Finals Pancake Breakfast fed the students and treated them to a show from the Pancake Man several times over. The food, fun, and funk seemed to have desired effect of relaxation. At least they did for one freshman.
Yeah, kind of, because I just got out of an exam and then I was looking forward to come eat right after and then get back to studying.
Along with tests, many jobs have also been known to be physically, emotionally, and mentally taxing. One job at the UI Children's Hospital takes all three to the extreme. We'll toss it over to Lily Abermite for more. Lily?
Thanks, guys. This past semester, I worked with fellow DI photographer Margaret Kispert to look into what it's like to be a neonatal intensive care unit nurse at the UI Children's Hospital. We followed around nurse Lauren Hodgson to show the impact these nurses have on the babies and families, and how they deal with such an emotional job every day. The nurses talked about the bonds they create with the tiny babies, the families, and even with each other. One nurse said she is still in contact with families whose babies are now 8 years old. Hodgson said she sees something she has never seen before every day. To deal with the emotional toll this job can take on them, the nurses have found different ways to cope, like reminding themselves that these are not their babies and putting the situation in a different perspective. You can read our full story in today's edition of the Daily Iowan or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks, Lily. And from working hard in the hospital to working hard on the diamond.
Let's toss it over to the sports studio to see if the Iowa baseball team was able to pull a sweep over Minnesota. Guys?
Thanks, ladies. Zach Mackey alongside Taylor Mathis in the sports studio.
We've got the recap from the softball Big Ten tournament coming up, but first we're talking baseball.
The Iowa baseball team played their final home game of the season yesterday against Minnesota. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Jordan Maloney was there with a recap on the game. Jordan?
It was another record-setting weekend for Iowa baseball, clinching their 8th Big Ten series this weekend over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Recording their 4th Big Ten sweep, the Black and Gold are now ranked 13th in collegiate baseball poll. Additionally, in their exciting weekend of play, senior center fielder Eric Toole became the record holder for most singles in a career in University of Iowa baseball history. 1,224 fans showed up to cheer on the Hawkeyes on Sunday as they dominated the Gophers 7-1. Junior right-handed pitcher Calvin Matthews allowed Minnesota's only run in the 5th inning before senior Nick Hibbing came in for the save, pitching 4 shutout innings.
Getting a save at the end, it was just icing on the cake on senior day. It was an awesome day, and I was blessed to be a part of it.
The offense got going with a double off the bat of second baseman Jake Mangler in the 2nd inning. With 2 RBIs apiece from leadoff batters Toole and Mangler and 2 runs from junior Joel Booker, the Hawkeyes tallied up 7 hits in their final game against the Gophers. Sunday's win also marked the team's senior day, with 9 seniors playing their final game at Duane Banks Field. These seniors have left an unmeasurable impact on the program, including 638 starts between seniors Eric Toole, Jake Mangler, Chris Goodman, and Nick Day.
Right now we're doing our best to play the best baseball that we can, going into the tournament and stuff like that. So, to get this sweep against these guys and going into Rutgers on a positive note, it's huge for us.
Before the Hawks turn their focus to the Big Ten tournament, they will take on Rutgers next weekend for their final conference series. That's all for this season's home baseball games. I'm Jordan Maloney with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The team is 18-3 in Big Ten play and has clinched at least the number 2 seed for the Big Ten tournament, and they currently trail Illinois by 1.5 games.
As the baseball team closes out their regular season play, the Iowa track and field team heads into the postseason conference championships.
The team travels to East Lansing on Friday, where the men return 7-point scorers from last year's Big Tens.
Junior Kevin Sprayshire, Sam Jones, Clivens Delaney, and Gabe Hull each grab second-place finishes. Senior Babatunde Amusu and sophomore Aaron Mallett posted a pair of 6th-place finishers, and senior Jack Eckert placed 8th in the decathlon.
And for the women, sophomore Alexis Guster returned as the defending Big Ten champion in the 400 meters, where she clocked a personal best time of 52.77. She heads into the weekend with the 2nd fastest time this season at 53.30.
Both the men's and women's 400-meter relays are also returning as defending champs. The men's relay has both senior Keith Brown and junior James Harrington returning from the winning relay last year.
And the women bring back their entire quartet of Guster, juniors Lake Quazza and Montela Holder, and sophomore Brittany Brown. The men's and women's 400-meter relay currently ranks 2nd and 3rd in the Big Ten, respectively.
The men's golf team is also preparing for their postseason as they are set to head to the NCAA regionals this week.
For a preview of the regionals and to catch us on how the softball performed in the Big Ten tournament, let's toss it over to Nicole Ray and Taylor Bartz. Nicole, start us off.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to this week's Whip Around. I'm Nicole Ray. After a 2nd-place finish at the Big Ten Championships just a few weeks ago, the men's golf team has earned their 7th consecutive bid to the NCAA Regionals. They will be competing in the Yale Regional in New Haven, Connecticut, May 14th through the 16th. The team is the 7th seed, but a top 5 finish will earn them a spot in the NCAA Championship at the end of the month in Florida. The last time the team was in the championship was in 2012, where they finished 22nd. I'll throw it over to Taylor Bartz for info on softball. Taylor?
Thanks, Nicole. The Iowa softball team made it to the semifinal round of the Big Ten tournament with upset wins over both Minnesota and Rutgers. However, their impressive run came to an end with a 9-6 loss against 3-seeded Nebraska on Saturday. However, senior Megan Blank made a pretty big name for herself by breaking or tying 4 school records and earning herself her 19th multiple hit game. The Hawkeyes wrapped up their season with a 19-40 record overall. That's going to do it for me here at Pearl Field. Back to you guys at the studio.
Thanks for that, Taylor. And that's all the time we have for you here tonight.
Megan and Abby, back to you at the desk.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight with this edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out tomorrow night, same time and place for your latest news.
I'm Megan Horhan.
And as our last time as seniors, I'm Abigail Meyer. Have a great night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.